SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
I give Penn State a lot of credit. That was like a playoff football game, and I thought they were physical, and I didn't think we responded very well. I really didn't. I mean, we had our moments when we were pretty good. The pressure bothered us. Nick was pretty good early, and then he got in foul trouble. McQuaid was pretty good late. I hate to say it, but I've given him credit for the whole season. I told Cash that was one of the worst games I've seen him play. And as somebody said about somebody, it brings you back to pedestrian-like. So maybe we're all talking too much about how good we are. We're not that good. And if he doesn't play well, we're not very good at all. And we just got a lead on them. We made some shots. They missed some shots that I think they could have made. The turnovers were a joke. The bright spots where I thought we rebounded the ball very, very well. I thought our bigs played physical and our guards played soft. And but the biggest disappointment was the ball movement and the turnovers. We're not very good at all. So it was a win. It was a good win on the road. I watched Penn State play Nebraska and should have probably won that game. They're not that far off. The better Watkins can play. I just thought some of those guys missed some shots early that I've seen them make, those guards, and especially the young kids. And Stevens is a handful. Watkins is a handful. Reeves is a good player, and they just got to get a little bit of confidence back. And I still think they can win a lot of games, and I'll make it better. But we have to play better. We've been so worried about how much we practice because we got guys hurt and what we do. So we rested them, and I think they continued that rest right through this weekend. Questions?
Tom, is this a moment where when Cash is struggling and that it kind of highlights, accentuates how important Josh is and how important not having Kyle in?
Yeah, because we didn't feed the post very well. Aaron and Gabe are going to be fine, and they did an okay job, but not Josh and Arnie, and not right now. And they're going to have to do a better job. I thought that we caught the ball in the wings. We didn't even look in. Our whole game plan was to run Watkins, and if we didn't get up over the top, we thought we could get him when the court was spread, and we just didn't look in to throw the ball in there at all. So I was very disappointed in that. But, a couple things have to happen. I mean, if Josh and Arnie were back and Cash had that kind of game, that is un-Cassius-like in 2 years. So he sure as hell deserves a hall pass, but can't get many of them if we're going to be a real good team.
Can you talk a little bit about the freshmen and how they responded to the extended minutes, especially early? It seemed like they played maybe better a little bit early in the first half than they did in the second.
I would agree with that. Maybe which you'd think they'd be nervous, but I think as soon as they get a little tired, they quit focusing. They didn't do the things you needed to do, and for a guy like Aaron Henry, who can jump out of the earth to get, I think he had a grand total of 2 rebounds. 1 offensive rebound that's a shame, because that's an effort-related stat that a freshman should be. He should mess up his shot and screw up some assignments, but when you just got to go to the basket and get a rebound, you shouldn't mess that up. So disappointed in that.
Did you get a sense of what was off with Cassius today, with foul trouble or the score or what it was?
Nope. I mean, you have to ask him. It sure hasn't been lack of discipline or anything like that. Like I said, he had a human game, and he's been pretty unhuman if you look at the way he's played, and yet he still bounced back. We went to him, and he gets 2 or 3 buckets late, but just didn't seem himself. And maybe in some ways he's missing those guys on the wings too. So we're going to have to get better with those freshmen until we get those other guys back. If we get them back, I mean, it might not be for a while. I don't have any idea. So can't make excuses, but Aaron and Gabe got to get a lot better, especially Aaron. He's capable of doing more, and he's got to do more.
What about Foster? You were able to get him in with Cassius in that run of the point with that. Did you like what you saw?
Yeah, I mean, he did a pretty good job. You know, I mean, he made some good plays. He made a couple nice passes. He made a couple nice shots, and you know, I think that was one of his better games. And again, it's hard to evaluate him because there were times I had 3 freshmen in there at the same time, and whether those aren't Duke's freshmen. You know, that's no insult to us. It's just a fact of life. So, you know, that makes it hard on your point guard, even on Cassius, to be honest with you, when you got 2 freshmen in there that really aren't doing the things they need to do sometimes, and it's not all their fault. It makes it a little more difficult. So I thought, considering, I mean, one time we had him in there with all 3, then we tried to get McQuaid back in. I thought Foster played pretty well. Pretty good job defensively. He took some charges and that.
With both those guys defensively, I'm wondering what you saw. And the first time you've had to rely on Gabe really as part of the rotation. It seemed like defensively you guys were pretty good in that first half stretch where you took control. What did you think of where he is?
Yeah, you know, I thought he did do a pretty good job defensively. Where we really got caught is on the weak side, which is what young guys, you know, that the only thing they did in high school is guard their man. You know, there was no weak side. There was no getting over screens the right way. So I thought when they ran those flare screens and that, we got a little screwed up. But I thought Gabe was a little more engaged. My thing with Aaron is the thing since we recruited him, you know, he gets casual. And when you get casual in this league, you're going to get your bell rung. A couple times, you know, and they had a couple plays where he didn't get over the screen and get a wide open 3, and they make that. Those are just effort related things, and that's the only thing that would upset me.
I guess you mentioned the bigs. You know, it's tough for those other guys to get rebounds when Kenny and Nick are rebounding. Like
Yeah, but as you saw, there were a couple long rebounds and a couple that hit the floor. A guard should get those, but I would say yeah. But Matt McQuaid shouldn't have goose eggs, you know, and you know, we did a decent job. We didn't go to the offensive boards either. We thought that was a weakness for them, that we thought we could get some offensive rebounds, and maybe we get 11, they get about the same. So, you know, we had 19 assists on 25 baskets. That's better than I thought. But we also had 17 turnovers, and there were so many of them. I mean, scouting report, you know, we talked about number 5, Wheeler, that he comes up from behind. He did it 3 times in that game. You know, that's just a lack of paying attention, and the part was disappointing.
I know coaches sometimes get criticized for when the player's got 2 fouls, you sit them because you fear the third, and it's not always because you don't trust the player. You sometimes don't trust the call. Is that
well, you're on a lot of talk radio shows, and you listen to all those intelligent people tell me what to do all the time, and so the only reason I left him in is because I wanted to see if he could play with 2, and I don't know, you know, did you like the call? I didn't like the call, but I didn't like that Cassius took it in there. There was no reason to with 1:20 left. We were going to get him out at the next stoppage, and but it just, you know, if you had any guts at all, the next time when you're on one of those shows, you'll tell people that, okay, you know, he did it your way, that way's not so good either, and see what they think, because I can't play without Cassius, and playing with him with 3 fouls, then I got a tentative Cassius. And so it's a good question, though. I appreciate it.
What was the key for Nick Ward being successful in the paint today?
Well, I don't know if he was real successful. I mean, he scored some baskets because he's very good down there. We didn't get him the ball. That was the least amount of touches Nick had. I mean, just about every time he touched, he might have scored or got a shot off, but he didn't get a lot of touches to get it in and out. And I blame that on our coach, because he didn't get those wing guys to get it in there enough, and that's me. But I thought there were some openings. We didn't do it. But Nick is a load in there, and he's I thought he rebounded the best he's rebounded all year against a very good player in Watkins. So that part was encouraging.
Time for 1 or 2 more.
God, I love you. As soon as I brought up talk radio, you guys all talk radio people or what? Huh? I know which ones my guys are. How about the rest of you? Hey, hang in there with Penn State. You know, I really think that we got some good players that, you know, it's time that Watkins, as he comes back, I think they're going to get better and better. You know, him missing for a while was hard. So hopefully they will, now that we're out of here. Thanks a lot.